making the grand final match between Dookie and Frozen, 2 players in Buenos Aires. Shaka told us that he's from Tucumán, which is in the north, the Garden of the Republic, but instead it's going to be the 2 from the capital, Dookie and Frozen. And look, Dookie has looked the best. I mean, he's been killing it all weekend. He's mostly been taking them without losing a game. He did lose 1 or 2 in there, but nevertheless, he's looked fantastic throughout this entire thing. And the last time we saw him, man, what a buzzsaw. So I think he comes in here, obviously with the accolades as well from his opponents, saying that he's one of the favorites, and you can really see that. That said, the way that Frozen was able to regain momentum, the mental fortitude of being down as he was, 0-2, and then making it all the way back, regardless of what happened with Shaka, the mental fortitude on Frozen's side to continue to make good choices, to recognize where and when he could move, even as Shaka was playing a little differently. That was fantastic. So as he comes in here, I think he's actually looking like he's in a pretty good spot. Now, it's going to be a long road. He's got to reset the bracket. 2 3 out of 5 sets is going to be between him and Capcom Cup. But the way he was playing in that last set, I wouldn't put it past him.
Absolutely. And just to kind of build on the fact that it's going to be a long road, and not only does he have the 2 sets to go through, but it's going to be 2 sets against Bison. And Bison is definitely that war of attrition type character, right? Where he's going to sit there, he's going to whittle your life down with chip damage and normals that do a lot of gray life. And it's hard to just run away with matches up against Bison, in my opinion. He's got a decent amount of health, decent amount of stun, and it's just a long road to go. So we're going to see, though, Frozen, he has the ability to kind of weather the storm. We've seen the long-term mental fortitude of him. Started this top 8 in losers bracket, came back 3 straight up against Shaka. He's shown that he's got the endurance for this, as long as he doesn't crash here in Grand Finals. So it's going to be an interesting one for Sir. South America West CPT Championship on the line. Capcom Cup qualifying spot on the line. This is Grand Finals. These 2 players have yet to play in the bracket as well. Let's get it cracking.
Just been so impressed by Dookie's positioning throughout this top 16. And right now, even with the slow walk Bison, I'm always impressed by Bison players who make that walk so effective. He's got so many other tools to move around, but the walk, when I see that, I know I'm looking at a good Bison player.
Exactly, man. Like, we see Dookie utilizing all these perfect spacing opportunities here, whether it be with the walk back, dashing when he needs to, closing the gap with the scissor kick. So many ways to vary up the pressure.
Staying outside of things. It's not always about moving in and spacing. It's about backdashing a bunch too. He's doing that as well.
Like, the fact that he's been so effective at walking out in ranges with Bison is incredible. And now back-to-back with an EX. Enough damage to finish the job too, and Dookie picking up right where he left off.
He's out here stealing double digits of frames.
Yeah.
Psycho Axe into Psycho Axe.
It's always a classic Bison I like to see. That's how you know the opponent is a little bit fearful.
Exactly, yep.
You can see Dookie even willing to press after the double hit scythe. Oh, the whiff punishes on the Sobot kicks have been so on point. And even exposing the low right there on the stand. Oh, and again, bro, the whiff punishes. Frozen has just been right outside Bison's hurt box every time.
Patience here by Dookie. He knows if he gets hit, if he gets opened up there, it's going to be in the super.
Exactly. He's like, no, bro.
Jump back was genius.
And he knew that he was thirsting for that V-trigger activation off the slide. Well done from Frozen right there.
I'm impressed by that read because Dookie had not really been doing that kind of stuff.
0 slides.
Yeah, exactly. And look, sure, is it a thing that Bisons do to get trigger in that moment? Typically, yeah, but Dookie had not really been playing as forcefully as that. So interesting read by Frozen. He was right. I'm sure there's a lot of experience between these 2 as well, both in Buenos Aires.
But yeah, I like the fact that Dookie hadn't really been activating off the slides in his whole top 8. So the fact that Frozen still kept that at the forefront of his mind, knows that that security blanket for Bison always exists.
Yeah.
I keep that at the forefront. Doesn't even get the install for free. Okay, at least switch sides for him.
Anti-air jab by Bison? All right, welcome back.
Oh, he out of there, but gets cut off at the pass. The air-to-air rising jab from Dookie right there. V-break. Oh, V-shift to V-break.
Punish, yes. Oh, it's scrambling.
He's got another V meter there. Oh, what an anti-air Frozen clutch. Clutch in the face of a crazy Devil's Reverse. Still able to anti-air and take the first game.
Super fun first game. Very interesting decisions made on both sides. I did look up their match history on FG Combo, and they've in fact played a bunch.
Okay.
It's been 75% win ratio for Dookie against Frozen, and he won the most recent time, although that was in 2021. I'm sure they've played since then, but that's the last tournament recorded. 75% win rate by him.
But let's see, it's been the tale of the underdog today, right? Dookie defeated Shaka, Frozen defeated Shaka. We'll see if Frozen can overcome his demon here to get that Capcom Cup qualifier. Oh, he tried it again right there, but it's so difficult to consistently deal with Devil's Reverse.
Yeah, trade is fine with Dookie. Oh. Ooh, got a little lucky. He'll take that.
EX is gonna chase him down as well. Yes, sir. It'll stand fierce is right outside the soul bots so consistently.
How many times have we seen soul bats this top 8? I don't know, 100? Who even knows? They've almost never been whiff punished.
Yeah.
And yet Dookie with Bison on that stand fierce, a heavy button, like to be in the exact right spot with Bison and also to deal with the heavy is just fantastic.
He's just that means he's super confident in his spacing. Right? He knows the fact that as soon as he sees an animation, it's gonna whiff and he's gonna punish. Like that is a very high level Street Fighter right there. Taking the throw, knows that Frozen likes to go with that back throw to get the screen advantage, but my goodness, such big damage right there. And that was an air hit, so it actually works out for Frozen perfectly. Gonna put him on death's door here because if it's stun, it's death. Oh, and if it's stun, it's death. My man is seeing stars right now.
He backed off. He knew what could come. I love it.
Final round.
Great stuff, Frozen here. Not going quietly into the night whatsoever. Always fighting back, making Dookie earn every spot. That was the only EX bar to Dookie's name, though, so he's going to have to earn the rest of his way in. Immediately challenged afterwards, and Frozen just taking the V-skill install. So now you have to worry about that. The Scythe is definitely a threat in this neutral. And there you go.
Yeah, I think Dookie was trying to be outside of it. Oh, my God. There are a couple frames in there of invul. He found them.
Yeah, just barely. I love this. Yeah, he's been switching up between full screen V-skill and Fireball as well. Dookie was trying to make his way in to not let him V-skill up.
And away suddenly is Dookie, huh?
Yeah, he's got a bar, I was going to say. Now he can start pressing with the EX scissors again. He trigger 2 for the plus frames, and Dookie's just going to take the throw for now. Doesn't want to give him that super opportunity, but he's got the Scythe installed, so we've seen the raw 2-hit go into super before. Chased down with the hell attack, super smart.
And he holds on to that trigger as well. Still got the grab.
Oh, that's it's going to be a punish because he's so close. EX going to put him on life support here. We're going to do overhead. Oh, instead just walks out, gets the throw bait successfully, hook, line, and seeker. 2-0 lead to start the first set of grand finals.
Look, Frozen's playing great. I mean, Dookie's also playing great throughout most of this, but the fact that he gave in to wanting to do the Crusher, the Cycle Crusher into the corner, I think is a little curious. Not what I expected, certainly. Of course, you can get through booms, right? Like, there's utility in there, but leaving himself close in the corner without having traveled full screen first means you're in trouble.
I can't remember. There was one other moment as well that made me feel like Dookie is already uncomfortable, which is a little bit surprising to me considering he has a lead in terms of set advantage. But yeah, that Cycle Crusher and a moment preceding it definitely felt like Dookie is not as on point as he was up until this set.
I get the same feeling. Oh no, there's
another
great indication.
Another sign of that same thing. Oh, okay. Psycho Blast, Frozen trying to dodge it at the last moment, a little bit too late, but that's what happens when you commit to those big buttons sometimes.
Yeah, spins. Oh, wow, dash forward. Braver. Here comes Dookie. A little standing reset.
Yeah, command grab. Gotta reach in, let him know. Hellfire attack into the Psycho Blast. That was a whole lot of Psycho power in that combo.
Round 2.
Man, he's so cool.
Here.
Even as somebody who played ST Bison, this Bison's the sickest Bison I ever. So cool.
Yeah, I think this iteration of Bison is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, stand fierce again, shutting him down. Psycho Blast with a plus frames. Interesting. Thought he would try to maybe moonsault out.
Oh, not quite with punish. Frozen just didn't expect that.
Yeah. And no view reversals from Frozen either. He's just saving until that V trigger.
See, we are seeing such a different style out of Dookie. All these forward dashes, very intent about moving forwards. Frozen nullifies that now with his own pressure.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Some tricky stuff. Psycho Blast, though, just weathering the storm. Not much of a mix-up there from that space. Nice jump back jab. We've seen that a couple of times from Dookie. This time finally successful. Ah, he got caught flinching on that fireball.
Oh, tricky. Does he get
combo?
Yo!
Dookie indeed not only gets a combo, but kills him with it.
Oh, man, we were just talking about how sick this character is. So cool.
My goodness. That was sick. We actually, it sounded like we just saw somebody get hit in football. Like, oh, we're not talking at all. We're just like, what? That was a sick follow-up with that fireball still on the screen like that. Yeah, to get that extension and then still have the V-trigger extension too, that was really awesome.
That was rad.
1-2 here, Dookie switching up the style heavily, right?
Yes.
He's like 2-0, I got to change up my game plan. And he's looking a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident, even right there. I like his aggression.
Yeah, that's really been the name of the game. That's been a big change. Not that he was, like, not pressing buttons before, but he's just clearly more aggressive now.
Slide on in. The V-trigger is looming.
Frozen knew it.
Trigger in the cut.
Oh, which side? Tricky.
Yeah.
You know, one thing we've almost never seen is V-Skill 1 for Bison, which I'm surprised about because he's certainly been in a lot of situations where he could be doing it against Boom.
Yeah, exactly. He would absorb a projectile here and there, but it's not been on his mind, apparently. V-shift away. I love that from Frozen. He's trying to get that space back, and yes, the trade will work out for him this time. We saw the trade not work out for a previous opponent, but yes, great recognition from Frozen, and now is on set point, reset point. Look at this. All that great live close enough to get the throw, too.
Very quick cornering. That's exactly what Dookie had been doing before. Yes, he's harassing.
The stand fierces have been coming in hot and heavy. Ooh, that Soma barely hit. Ah, cut off of the pass. The stun is there. Showing stars. That is the Shadow leader after all. And now here we go. Dookie bouncing back, trying to force a game 5 in this first set. Ah, the EX stomp coming in immediately. That V skill gets shut down. Didn't actually even get the install off.
Maybe a chance to move forward, not quite. Lovely Frozen. Yo!
Oh, the dash into the roundhouse
so
was too
much
fire.
Same read, we've seen that before. He's gonna get some life back and pressure.
Roll here. Get one more hit. Oh no! You should. Oh, he chased him down. He gets the counter hit.
Oh yeah.
Leaving him standing.
Oh yeah, here's the aggression.
No check on the dash. The +1. Trying to keep him nice and tight with the frame trap. Oh, bait shift and a backdash. Get me out of dodge, please. Ah, and he catches a reach but no big punish. The crouch jab will finish the first set off. Frozen 3-1, and we're all knotted up here in Grand Finals.
It's gonna have to be one final set of 3 out of 5, and that was a very back and forth set, even just in those games that we saw. Frozen had control throughout a lot of it, but there were definitely series in there where it was Dookie who had more, just due to offense, due to pressure, due to forward movement, really made it difficult for Frozen to even get some space to deal with in the first place. So in my mind, that's sort of what the battle is here. Will Frozen manage to get that pressure right away, or will he get the neutral game that he's really done well in? Or will there be more pressure opportunities, more forward aggression on Dookie's side? And again, I would love to see more, or at all maybe, V-Skill 1 versus Boom. There's been plenty of situations where we've seen Boom, and then, Frozen waits, maybe for a jump, looking for anti-air, maybe he sets up his own V-Skill, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Boom's moving across the screen, and we have not seen Bison yank that thing into his pocket yet.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see it just as an option on the table for further block strings, right? Just because, like, you could use that at the end of a lot of Bison's pressure to kind of throw off your opponent in situations that normally they're trying to press back in. So not only will it nullify the projectiles, but it will present a different rhythm for Frozen to deal with defensively. And that's what Dookie's really been most successful at, is getting in on the opponent and then kind of one-turning the Nash. So if you can find different ways to open them up with that, add some more mental stack to the opponent, it could be something worth considering.
We've seen it change, though. It's not V-Trigger 2 anymore. It's V-Trigger 1.
Okay.
Now, we saw this before. We saw this yesterday from Dookie. That was the trigger that he played. Today, it's been all V-Trigger 2 until now.
Yeah, I honestly like the V-Trigger 1 in this matchup. It's going to give him some enhanced movement, so some more vulnerability frames to dash through things, as well as just kind of making the most out of the hits he does get, right, with some of the extensions, canceling special, and the EX special.
I really like V-Trigger 1 for Bison this season. They buffed it, and it's very strong.
Reaching after the V-break, though. It's a -2 situation. My goodness, though. Paying dearly for it. Most of his life bar delay.
Oh, that's a punish!
Oh, boy.
So is that. As Frozen finds the knockdown.
Oh, my goodness. And the V-Trigger, a slight delay on that scissor kick because of that V-Trigger might be what actually caused the hit.
Yeah. The timing of that is so different than normal scissors.
Oh, okay. I love the jump back jabs. Wow, even the stand jab anti-airing that. A wee bit surprised. A good sweep here.
Outside of easy range, there's Dookie. He's looking really hardcore for Capcom Pro Tour Frozen.
Guess he just doesn't want to be put in that guess scenario if he does end up blocking. Look at it. He will take the negative trades as long as he doesn't have to block afterwards.
Putting up a wall. Frozen looking good. Uh-oh, here we go. That crush gave Dookie the activation point.
Oh, tried some shenanigans right there, but Frozen was ready with the V-shift away. CA on deck for Frozen out. Oh, my goodness.
Remember, he could dash to the other side. He's got all sorts of wild mobility options.
I love that early jump button right there to stuff the jump back jab. Very smart adjustment from Frozen. Does get double upped on. I thought he was going to get chased down and punished, but doesn't get caught flinching here. Still not flinching just yet.
So that trigger's out. Oh, to the other side. He gets a punish, and Dookie game number 1.
Very nice, yeah. And the EA side, it's a reliable anti-air a lot of the time, but that Devil's Reverse, such a weird air trajectory, can immediately just get behind you in the blink of an eye and right there causing it to whiff, and a punish for Dookie to get back his lead in this set.
So that changed, the trigger, it did come into play sometimes, certainly. Yeah. The first round, the W that he got there, as you said, different timing on the scissors. Maybe been part of why it was successful. Second round came into play as well. He finally tried it and it didn't work. That's actually hilarious.
It's like, I had the right idea, not using this. And now, yeah, with that great life starting to build up so good for Bison. We've seen the jump back jab, a consistent answer. Frozen has adjusted himself.
Did he just remember? What's going on here? This dude's so strong, and he didn't do that until game 6 or whatever we're in now.
Oh, even the V-score right there. Again, these jumps have been stuffed now with these early jump roundhouses from Frozen. I love the adjustment. He's shifting away. It's time for you to come to me. Uh-oh. He's at the door.
There it is, but challenged and ready was Frozen.
No and one mixtapes here. Take it back to 30 for 30.
The temptation to dash to the other side is just so strong. When you're in Trigger 1 as Bison, like, you just want to party.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I would want to do. I love that from Frozen. Fighting back as soon as he gets cornered, does the shimmy as well successfully.
Taking the meter there. Hoping to see view reversal, nothing. He activates.
Oh, stay on the same side. He can switch at the last moment. You can see how much damage that is because it even sets up the EX cycle ball. Get out of here. You're staying in the corner.
Dookie's still here.
No biting here. One hit away now. Either strike or throw. He somehow ends up just jumping over, getting thrown himself. The jump fierce coming in hot, catching the start of a V-Trigger 2. Not sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, man.
But I don't know why it wasn't just the anti-air side.
Yeah. Frozen maybe already committing to an option. Again,
Yeah.
both of these players probably know each other pretty well, just not expecting that to come out. Good job from Dookie right there, recognizing the whip throw in time to take advantage of it. Not an easy thing to do.
Well, he's really finding a lot more marks here. Still there. Yes.
Good discipline, and this is a hefty life lead to start. Frozen does check the dash, and we got V-Trigger 2 activated. He'll take the thick throw for now, considering the CA is on deck.
Oh, that's so tricky.
Consistently avoiding that anti-air option. V-break to get through the fireball. Again, eating another throw here. Doesn't want to eat the big damage and let Frozen get this life lead.
He spends all the trigger.
Finally, Tex.
But Dookie's approach here has to... Boy, look at this. I don't know.
I think he's alive because of the scaling.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Dookie has a chance to take a 2-0 lead, blocks the overhead, gets the punish activation. As long as he doesn't drop it here, it is the end. Oh, he does, though. Goes for a simpler combo, gets the ankle breaker that he's looking for. It takes a 2-0 lead.
What? Was anything at the end right there?
I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure he could have got the kill combo.
Yeah, definitely. He had an EX bar.
Yeah, he had EX, right? So I figured he'd go into an EX extension. Didn't end up doing it, but it didn't cost him in the end. Now it is a 2-0 lead after the reset. Dookie, that V-Trigger switch up has been paying off. Just in general, his gameplay adjustments have been looking sharp. But we did just see Frozen come back 3 games straight against Shaka. See if he can put on a repeat performance.
I feel like, although it is 2-0 Dookie, that it's just
It don't
even.
feel like 2-0 Dookie, right? It doesn't.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh my goodness, the Haymaker was coming out trying to punch the Dark Powers out of the air.
Here we go, Frozen just like that's in the corner. Setting up the
Oh.
skill. He waited. Before attacking, he waited. That was a fantastic round by Frozen.
Yeah, a dominant way to get back into the set for sure. It's a W on the board here. We talked about the dangerous momentum that this character, that this player really utilizes. You don't want to let him start going.
The dangling roundhouse, the early one.
Yeah. Psycho Blast ends up landing right on top of it, but a slight missed time on that Psycho Axe. Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh,
okay.
Never have I seen that one before.
Still holding on a trigger here is Dookie. He's not... I don't think he's reversal a single one of those EX moonsaults.
Yeah. Definitely been content with holding on to his V-meter a lot of the time. And here we go. We find ourselves in the same spot and thought he would bet on the throw. He does it, and wow, actually avoiding the scissor kick and punishing it. Beautiful stuff from Frozen. 2-1, and man, like you said, that did not look like a 2-0 lead from Dookie. It is a 2-1 lead now, and Frozen. That was the most dominant game, I think, of Grand Finals so far.
Right, yeah. And capped off by that specific read that his opponent would do something like scissors or slide or whatever it was going to be. He was right.
Yep.
No, I mean, look, if you're Bison, like, why not do scissors? You have the ability to cancel into another special when you're in trigger 1. But I guess there's the reason why. Maybe, okay, look, whenever he's tried B-skill, he's actually had his butt kicked, so I get it. All right. You were right.
Udo German is here, and Frozen already looking to run away with this round. Wow, that's why Dookie fighting back with everything he's got right there. Even switching sides via the V-Trigger 1 dashes again. Oh no, but too aggressive that time. Yes, to the plus frames. Frozen will take the throw. We're waking up with our own though. Give me that plus frame. Try to shimmy him out his boots, but he's staying solid.
Down to a grabber. Not. Oh! Yeah, all the way into the corner. Oh, the interruption!
What
brave moment.
Really recognizing when those Psycho Axes are going to start coming out. Ah, the overhead is there. Frozen, that's definitely not a option he goes with a lot, but a great round ender. Caught him off guard there.
Seeing some of that aggression. Yes, I feel like we haven't seen that in multiple games.
Yeah.
That whiff punish on Soga just hasn't really been about that as much as it was at the start.
Yeah, Frozen's done. Oh, it was almost another scenario right there. I was just going to say Frozen's done a good job not whipping it as much. challenges in between these buttons. Like he's caught the Psycho Axe a couple of times now.
Getting underneath. Frozen doing a great job with his movement. Here we go. Yes.
Oh, cuts him off with the pass here. That's big damage. Frozen got CA on deck as well. Next hit will be it. Yeah, it's a funky setup. He's tried that a couple of times, but it doesn't look like he's plus after.
Getting on the bar. Frozen just maybe hoping to deny activation. Yeah, jumps way away, way far away from where Dookie can easily activate. That was so well played. And Dookie, because maybe he wasn't in an easy spot for activation, special into it, slide into it, it seemed like he tried to force the issue.
He did, 100%, and that's kind of going back to what we talked about, how Dookie looks a little bit more uncomfortable in this grand finals than he had in the sets leading up to this point. He honestly had been content a lot of the time. Remember his setup against Shaka? He just stood on the other side of the screen against Dawson. He didn't care.
Right. That's right.
He was just chilling, and then right there was still enough time left on the clock to where he could have played that a little bit more slowly, but he tried to force the issue. You could tell he's feeling the pressure. He doesn't want the set to slip away from him, but we are at a final game.
Capcom Cup on the line between these two. Starting out okay for Dookie here, but the tech comes, still maintains corner control.
This is what he wants. When you're feeling nervous, when you're feeling unsure of yourself, you need a round star like this.
Yes. Oh yeah, exactly. What is he looking for? Oh boy.
This is a fantastic, a big confidence builder, but oh my goodness, if he loses this round, it can all come crashing down. Could be the mental break that allows Frozen to take the entire grand finals.
Dude, Dookie did not even want to challenge at all. He wanted out of there, but Frozen's back in.
V-Trigger is gone, but so is that life lead that Dookie had.
Finally, Universal! Finally!
Oh, he's feeling the pressure.
Yes, first time, and it comes twice in a row.
And now Frozen knows he doesn't have that opportunity. He can't slide. He can't do that scissor kick into V-Trigger anymore. Catches the Psycho Axe, and it was close enough to get the combo. Great awareness from Dookie right there, back on tournament point.
Capcom Cup on the line.
Oh, point blank, the V-skill works out this time. He immediately lets it rip.
Frozen just caught in the corner yet again. And trying to be active about it, right?
Yeah.
Trying to play with his own spacing, does not want to get caught easily, but he's nevertheless there.
Like that, Dookie taking the throw right there. Notices that Frozen is being a little bit more timid, but the Sobot gets shut down again.
These button timings are all new. He did not pressure like this before, and Frozen's in big trouble.
Frozen so close to a comeback here, but he's getting oppressed in the corner right now. Finds a good challenge and an activation point, and actually catches the backdash. Still
this
not
Nash
out of it.
V-Trigger too. This can make it happen. This is a dangerous one. He's in here. He's got the corner all the way through. Stuns an issue for Dookie.
That frame kill definitely caught him off guard right there. He didn't know what to do about it. Does get the stun off this back throw. The combo is going to be very close in terms of death. EX afterwards, not going to be enough here. Puts him on life support. That Psycho Blast gets cleared. The stomp is also blocked. Tried to catch the chase down, but didn't get it. And the throw does it. Dookie off the activation. Keeps it nice and simple. The strike throw game at the end of the day is what it's all about. And Dookie finds the last hit he needs.
And he qualifies for Capcom Cup, as was foretold again at the beginning when Chaos, his first opponent, said, "My rival," meaning Dookie, is one of the strongest I have played here in South America. He's a clear candidate to win the CPT, and that is exactly what happened right there. And what I love about this set, well, lots of things, right? The comeback by Frozen in the first set, the win of the first set by Frozen, the comeback later, all sorts of interesting stuff that went on. But that last game, the pressure was just unlike anything we had seen out of Dookie. So much harassment in the corner, different button timings. He harassed with Stand Fierce itself a lot more than we had seen before. Previously, it was mostly a whiff punish and mid-range control button, which it often is. But there, he was just pressuring differently, and you could see, I think that really got to Frozen.
Exactly. Frozen had been so good at kind of weathering the storm in the corner and getting out of it and still making the most out of those rounds. But Dookie made sure to shut down all those things that Frozen had done to escape the corner or to effectively fight out of it. He took them away. And the ability to recognize that in a tournament game scenario after being reset on, after being come back on, is incredibly impressive mental fortitude.
Yeah, absolutely right. Very deserving of this win. Man, I'm really impressed by Dookie. Yeah, the end of this round was a bunch of wild stuff.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about right here, where he had the EX bar on deck. We thought he was going to go into an EX combo. Didn't do it, but it didn't cost him in the end. And this is where Frozen's comeback started, right? 2-0. Dominant game 3. Like, completely just mauled him both rounds of game 3. We see the comeback right here with the V-trigger. Yeah, ends up getting thrown, but still tied it back up. This is the round that Dookie kind of overwhelmed him in the corner, but still he made it close, right? He got an opportunity to play and then made Dookie sweat for it off that Psycho Blast. It's one of the best EX moves in the game. That's what we talked about at the very start of this top 8, and it came through in the clutch multiple times in this grand finals.
Yeah, right down to the end on this. Just kept it very simple at the end. Frozen was frozen.
Yeah.
And ends up losing here. Look at that result.